The Overnight Underground Podcast. Here's the headlines. Kim Jong Un, be illin. Trump is suspending immigration. OMG WTF Oil. The National Guard to guard our pork. Biden likes Michelle Obama. And Paris burns for a second day. These stories and more coming up on today's Overnight Underground News. I'm John Ford. Can you believe it? The top story on the Overnight Underground News today isn't about coronavirus.
Wow.
There are conflicting reports coming out of Korea today regarding the health of Kim Jong Un. CNN and others are reporting that the North Korean leader is possibly in grave condition, according to government sources. North Korea's leader is allegedly in that grave danger after undergoing a previous surgery. The surgery was reportedly to correct health issues from, quote, excessive smoking, obesity, and overwork. Yeah, overwork. Overwork from sucking down 2 packs of Camels a day and lifting giant forks of Alfredo. Speculation is that if the rotund leader drops dead, his sister is ready to step in and take over the nuclear-armed hermit kingdom. Leaders in Seoul have downplayed the reports of Kim's demise and say that no unusual activity in North Korea has been reported. But that's what you would expect them to say, isn't it? I bet it was hair plug surgery and liposuction. And once they were finished sucking out all the fat, there was nothing left. President Trump announced today that he is set to suspend immigration over the double whammy of coronavirus and protecting jobs. The Great Orange One said that he will sign an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration into the United States. Needless to say, the executive order will cause a lot of weeping, wailing, and gnashing of teeth and is likely to draw ire from his foes and foster legal challenges. Oh, hell. He could sneeze and people would be pissed and sue.
That's enough.
The tweet that announced the policy. I love how the president announces policies with tweets. Didn't go into how long the policy will be in effect. Undoubtedly, we'll find out more during today's coronavirus flea circus press conference. The price of oil. What can you say about the price of oil? A sell-off in the oil futures yesterday saw prices move into negative territory, with them falling to their lowest in history. What does all this mean? Well, in a nutshell, the price is so low that oil producers have to pay the oil storage folks to store their oil. Say that 3 times fast.
No.
Yep, they have to pay to get someone to take it away. The glut has oil companies scrambling to find storage facilities for their black gold. Texas tea.
Doggy.
Somewhere, Elon Musk is laughing hysterically. In completely unrelated news, the Market Insider reports that OPEC members are considering oil production cuts. I think cuts here loosely translates to, where the hell are we going to put all this shit? Those protesters out there protesting the lockdowns, Dr. Fauci has gone on record that opening things up too soon will probably just backfire.
Clearly, this is something that is hurting from the standpoint of economics, from the standpoint of things that have nothing to do with the virus. But unless we get the virus under control, the real recovery economically is not going to happen. So what you do, if you jump the gun and go into a situation where you have a big spike, you're going to set yourself back. So as painful as it is to go by the careful guidelines of gradually phasing into a reopening, it's going to backfire.
Dr. Anthony Fauci on Good Morning America responding to questions from George Snuffleupagus.
Sorry about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to send in the National Guard to protect our precious pork. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds has called in about 250 National Guard troops in an attempt to contain coronavirus in the state's meatpacking plants and slaughterhouses. Bloomberg reports that the troops will help with testing and contact tracing at plants operated by Tyson Foods and National Beef Packing Company. How much do you want to bet that bacon becomes a new toilet paper? Joe Biden said he would pick Michelle Obama as his vice president, quote, in a heartbeat. Here's presumptive Democratic Party nominee Joe Biden on KDKA-TV.
Oh, I'd take her in a heartbeat. She's brilliant. She knows the way around. She is a really fine woman.
Wait, is touchy-feely Joe talking about her as a VP candidate or something else?
Grin, grin, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more.
Biden also noted that his pick for VP will be a female. Has anyone called him out for being a TERF yet? Paris saw its second night of violent protests, which are also known as riots, last night. The Daily Mail reports residents of North Paris suburbs have accused the racist police of attacking minorities during the coronavirus lockdown. Maybe if they would just stay home, they wouldn't get, quote, attacked. Police used tear gas and baton charges in an attempt to quell the unrest. Military-aged men clad in black shot fireworks at police as trash burned in the city of lights. Can you guess the latest high-profile Chinese COVID conspiracy theorist? If you picked Angela Merkel, step right up and pick up your schnitzel. According to the Washington Post, German Chancellor Angela Merkel is now demanding that China spill the beans and tell the truth about the origins of the coronavirus outbreak. Merkel called for the commie Chinese government to become transparent as Beijing faces spiraling pressure concerning reports it sought to downplay the pandemic.
You gotta be kidding me.
It's been reported that the Chinese allegedly waited 6 days before warning their own citizens that the outbreak in Wuhan would likely become a pandemic. Wait, the Chinese lied about being behind a worldwide pandemic? You're kidding, right?
Nope.
President Trump and New York King, Governor Cuomo, are scheduled to meet today as Cuomo jets to D.C. The president has gone on record that he doesn't know why the governor is coming. Trump said, "I don't know. He wanted to. Well, believe it or not, we get along." Cuomo had this to say during yesterday's New York coronavirus conference.
Federal government has said from day one, don't worry, we're going to provide funding to the states. Don't worry. But I'm worried.
Cuomo and Trump are scheduled to meet this afternoon in the Oval Office. There's no truth to the rumor that Cuomo will be bringing puppets to explain his agenda to the president.
N-E-W-S.
A mostly correct and occasionally incomplete transcript and links to reference sources and articles of this Overnight Underground can be found at overnightunderground.com.